welcome to Jump Scare. This is our special FrightBites segment.
FrightBites.
And for this, we are going, by we, I mean me, who is a absolute terrible cook. Nothing is good that I do. No. If it doesn't come out of a can, a frozen dinner, or come from a takeout place, you don't want to eat it if I fix it.
This is the first time he has ever baked anything or will be baking anything.
Probably ever, yeah.
I don't know if there's going to be another episode after this.
Because the house may burn down. It's fair.
Well, I was more gearing towards the fact that we may just die from food poisoning.
Either way.
I don't know how you get food poisoning from... I mean, I guess maybe if the eggs are still raw. We're making...
It's possible.
For our FrightBite segment, it's Halloween! Yay! I mean, today is Halloween. Not that we're doing Halloween.
Yeah.
We're actually baking
PumpkinHead bread. That's right. You heard it. PumpkinHead bread. Because we're cute that way.
PumpkinHead bread. And after we watch Shad mix everything...
This will be the scary part.
I'm going to be like this. Just, oh, yes.
It might not be good.
Cook.
All right. After we see the horror show that is me trying to cook, then we'll move on to talking about the movie and eating some of the bread if we live through it.
If we live through it is a big...
All right. So how do I start?
All right, sir. You will be adding 2 cups of almond flour.
2 cups of almond flour. See what I can do here.
I don't know. The almond flour, he's plucking it from the jar. He's adding it into the bowl. 2 cups.
They can see that.
Well, they can't really see it because your back is turned to them, so I have to
narrate
it as it's happening.
All right, I think that's it, right?
So here we have the 2 cups of almond flour.
All right.
Hopefully the bowl that I got you is large enough for this.
Yeah, let's hope so. All right, what's next?
Okay, well, you're going to have to put the almond flour in the bowl.
All right, well, see, I know nothing. You're going to have to tell me all these things.
Okay, yeah, because you're going to have to mix all these ingredients together.
All right.
Next is 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Actually, let's do the 1/2 teaspoon of salt.
All right, we got that already measured out. All right, and then what's the next one?
We had to have it pre-measured because it's Himalayan salt, so I didn't think that you wanted to watch me, be turning the Himalayan salt so I can crush this salt. Next is 1 teaspoon of soda, but we're not doing the baking soda. We're going to do 2 teaspoons of baking powder.
Okay.
I don't know, baking soda, I know it's like about the rise thing, but it kind of freaks me out. So anyone is an actual cook out there, why do you need baking soda? Which we couldn't find baking soda, only the one they put in the refrigerator. Is that the one you would use? I have so many questions.
All right, what's next?
Next, we have 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice.
2 teaspoons. Let me find my teaspoon. There it is. 1 teaspoon. Uh-oh, now here's where it's going to get dicey because the teaspoon thing doesn't fit in this jar.
If you mix out a little bit, it'll be okay. Oh, Layla, you can't see her because obviously she's down to the ground. She has joined the FrightBite segment. She wants some pumpkin bread.
No, she wants that wet cat food that's under the cabinet, and she knows it's there. She's smart enough to know not to eat anything that I cook. All right. Pumpkin. Spice powder in.
Okay, now...
Spice flowed.
Oh, it flowed? Okay.
Yes.
1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon.
1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. I gotta find these things. I don't know what they look like. Here, let me shake this over here.
It's fine if you get a little bit inside. Cinnamon is not that strong. I mean, it is the organic ground green-wise, if you have a Publix bar, green-wise cinnamon.
Well, we had our first challenge trying to get this out of here.
It's a pain in the...
Oh, I see. It's going to be a little extra cinnamon in this. I don't know. It looks good enough. What do you think?
That looks good. Just throw it in there.
All right, what's next?
Now we need we're going to skip over this. I'm going to save that for last. 1/3 cup of pure maple syrup.
1/3 cup. That's this one, right?
Yep.
All right. Pure maple syrup.
And make sure you're putting in the right line because there's a 1/3 cup and 1/2 cup in there.
Yeah, we wouldn't want to get too much.
Yeah, let's not get crazy with the maple syrup.
I don't know. That may be the best part of this.
This is not Riverdale, so.
Sure.
Hey. For all you Riverdale fans out there.
All right, I think I got it.
Okay, throw it in there. That looks like a little more, but it'll be fine.
All right, next up.
1 teaspoon of vanilla extract.
It's so confusing. It's a liquid. How do I get teaspoons out of it?
You're gonna dump the bottle in the spoon.
Yeah, I got that part of it. I'm just making a joke there.
Very, 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 very carefully.
1 teaspoon.
1 teaspoon.
All right, got it.
Now I will be assisting with the wiggle,s with the eggs.
Does not want to see me destroy these eggs all over the counter.
This is a tricky part, so I will be doing these eggs right in front of you.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
if I'm that fancy to break these eggs like that, but...
Oh, looks like you got it. Well, you know what happens when I've tried to break eggs. A lot of shells in there. Oh, see?
I got
there would have been a whole egg in there if it was me.
I got 1... Oh, I'm lying. I got 2 shells. That's fine.
Way better than me.
And the last egg. Get out of there.
It does not want to cooperate. See, the whole kitchen would have been on fire when I was done.
All right.
All right, what's next?
Next, you will whisk. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. And the last ingredient.
Oh, yeah, we actually might want to put the pumpkin in, huh? Hey.
It's the 3/4 cup of 100% pumpkin puree. Puree. Now, make sure that you use a spoon or anything around there, this purple spatula. Just dig out every single bit of pumpkin because it's not going to be pumpkin bread if there's...
So you're going to need it all.
If it doesn't taste like pumpkin.
All right.
Lastly, you will now whisk it up. And I think you can do that in front of the camera, right? Kind of.
Yeah,
There
maybe.
you go.
Yeah, I can move it out of the way here.
We need to get some, like, what's her name?
Julia Child?
Julia Child's spirit needs to enter Shad while he makes, I should say stirs.
We just need the fancy above camera thing here to show you the above it. We don't have that because we're working on a Julia Child budget.
That's an actual person on Instagram, so we're not working on Julia Child's budget.
No, I didn't know that. As you can see, I don't follow a lot of cooking things.
I don't think she actually does any of the cooking. I think she just posts stuff that people do. So you need to whisk it. So you are using a whisk, but we need a little bit of like a... No,
yeah, I don't know what that means.
We need more of this action.
Okay.
Where you're like trying to fluff it up a little bit.
Okay, see, I don't know what a whisk is.
Just get in there and just stir it as much as you can.
Well, that's what I was doing, but apparently I wasn't whisking it when I was doing it.
Well, we all can't be great whiskers, I guess. Is that
I'm a terrible whisker.
Sounds like it's the name of my cat band, the Whiskers.
Ooh, yeah, the cats would love that.
Yeah.
All right, is this whisk enough for you?
I guess. Well, now the next thing is we're going to be pouring it into our dollar store pan because we're so fancy.
Yes.
This is for anyone's budget, even though all the ingredients, and I will post, because maybe someone is really interested in this recipe, I'll post what
Someone
ingredients.
that doesn't want to die.
Well, you're not making their pumpkin bread.
Let's hope not.
So they'll be fine. There you go. Oh, look at that. A pro already. He got
look at that.
Spatula.
With the spatula to get it all out there.
Yeah, you got to get every little bit. I have already softened some butter, and I rubbed it all in there. Even though we didn't use almond flour to be a little fancy and healthy on the side, I did use actual butter because
it tastes good?
Because it tastes good. I wasn't going to do coconut oil because that's weird. And that's
I can't believe it's not butter. Oh, I can.
It's like curry butter. It's like the Irish butter. All right. That looks good. If you want to, you can just kind of like even it out a little bit.
Well, I don't know. I want lumpy PumpkinHead bread. I mean, he's not exactly smooth, so.
That's actually true. So just do what you need to do and get it in there.
There we go. Pumpkinhead himself's a little lumpy, so if the bread's a little lumpy, that just falls right into it.
I'm gonna say that I preheat the oven already, so it's ready to go, and it's gonna take about 45 to 50 minutes for the bread to do its thing.
We will not make you stand at us for 45 minutes. We're gonna jump ahead a little bit here.
We're gonna use magic because it's Halloween.
Yeah, a little Halloween magic here. All right, watch out. So I'll open this up.
All right, kitty cat, move back. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, don't burn yourself.
I'm trying. All right. We'll check back with you soon.
We'll check back soon, and I have a handful of raw eggs, so let me just go and clean that before I get weird stuff everywhere and make everyone sick.
Okay.
All right. See you soon. Bye.
Oh.
So, magic. Here
We're back.
are. We're back. And with our PumpkinHead
Bread. Look at that. It's even got graveyard dirt around it.
Yeah, we wanted to fancy it up.
This, by the way, is not from me trying to cook the bread, bake the bread. Despite what people may think, this is just a little fog that got out of control here. This is not from me setting the house on fire.
It's the fog that emanates from Razorback Hollow.
Ooh. Yeah, you know, sometimes it's daylight and there's fog.
Well, let's see what this tastes like.
Yeah, that's going to be a interesting choice here. Just remember, you did this to yourself.
So isn't it crazy how Stan Winston... There's not a lot of like special effects people that are like, you know what, I'm going to just make my own movie. I'm going to direct it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
I think him and a guy who worked with him on some other stuff that did that movie Virus is one of the only ones I can think of right off the bat. And Tom Savini for Night of the Living Dead, but maybe 2 or 3 in all that I can think of, and that's it.
Oh, man.
All right, let's give it a try here.
So when was the first time you've seen this movie? I think you have a crazy story, don't you?
Oh, excuse me. Not that crazy. I tried to see it in theaters, but I lived in Joplin, Missouri at the time, and no theater played Pumpkinhead. So I had to wait for video like everybody else. I just had to wait and try to rent it, which, you know, it was super popular rental. It took me forever to get a chance to rent it. All right, how bad?
It's very soft.
Yeah? I don't know what that means, but...
Um,
because, you know, I have no experience baking.
It's a pretty good first attempt, I have to say.
All right, that's good.
It's not terrible. I don't know. I think it's because the pumpkin makes it a little softer. So it's not as, like, carrot cake. It's not as, like, gritty as pumpkin bread is. If that makes any sense. Sometimes the pumpkin bread is, like, it has, like, a certain texture. And this is lighter. And also the almond flour.
That probably makes a difference, too.
That definitely makes a difference.
Yeah, but I like it. I mean, none of us are dying, and I didn't burn the house down, so it was a successful experiment.
Is my mouth black?
Not really, no.
No, okay, good. It's decent. No,
It came out. I gave it a try.
I'm still eating it. So that's a good thing. Well, there's some recognizable faces in the film.
Yep. Of course, you got Lance Henriksen, who has been in, you know, everything. At one point or another, if a TV show goes on long enough, Lance Henriksen shows up in it.
We have Mayim Bialik.
Nope.
Damn, I killed it.
Yep, you tried.
I tried.
What was it? Mayim Bialik.
Mayim Bialik.
There we go. Who would go on to be in, what was it?
She's Blossom.
Blossom. I can never,
She's
her,
Blossom.
Punky Brewster, I get them all confused.
No, she's Blossom. She's the one with the floppy hat.
Yep. And the crazy, what's her name? Joy Lawrence was in the show with her, right?
Joy Lawrence, yeah.
Yep.
And then also
Into the Big Bang Theory now.
There you go.
That's probably what she's more known for now. You've also got George Buck Flower in here. The first time I remember seeing him in a movie where he wasn't a homeless guy.
He's dirty in the movie still.
He's dirty. He's
Mr.
unclean,
Wallace.
but he does have a house he lives in.
He has a house this time. He moved
It's
up.
not much of a house.
It took him like he was the fog and like
The Fog, They Live.
They Live. He was like, you know,
Back to the
struggling.
Future.
Back to the Future. He's living on a
finally
bench.
He finally got a house. It's not much of a house. He has to share it with like 17 children and a wife.
It's actually a shack.
And by shack, I mean, we're talking like Steve Martin, the jerk kind of shack. And
I'm just going to scrape off. My
right.
favorite thing is the icing.
So, yeah, he's actually got a house this time around, which is unique for poor Buck Flower. He doesn't get to live in a place a lot. And who was the one from Ghoulies 2 was also in this?
Carrie, what's her name?
Remsen?
Carrie Remsen from Ghoulies 2. She plays Maggie in this movie.
Yeah, she was the one who got killed right away in Ghoulies 2, right? She was the, quote, super attractive girl that got murdered.
I want to say, no, she didn't kill right away. She's the one that's the belly dancer.
Oh, yeah, but they did get her pretty quick.
She actually survives.
Oh, that's how much attention I pay to Ghoulies 2.
How dare you? We did a podcast on that.
Yeah, I know, and I didn't like it, remember?
Wow. I actually eradicated that from my memory because I really liked that movie.
I just wasn't into Ghoulies 2, so I don't remember a lot of it.
Yeah, she survives. They ride off to the sunset to go live their LA dreams or whatever.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Well, moving on.
Movie. But she does get killed in this one, and that's probably what you're thinking. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the movie.
Spoiler alert, most of the people in this movie die.
Pumpkinhead, he already did.
Yeah. So, Pumpkinhead, of course, you go see this old lady. What's her name? Mrs. Haggis?
Mrs. Haggis.
Yeah, that's right there. That should tell you right there. You don't want to go see this lady. Anybody who takes their name from Haggis? No, do not go in their house.
All I think about is Mike Myers.
Oh, yeah.
And
So I Married an Axe Murderer?
Yeah, so I was in my head I'm thinking Harriet, sweet Harriet. So I Married an Axe Murderer and how he's trying to feed his family haggis because they're Irish, and it's hilarious. Or they actually say the parents are eating haggis. But yeah, Mrs. Haggis, who creepily is like,
hey,
does she just sit in a rocking chair like all day waiting for someone to come in? So she's creepy and fucking mysterious.
I think because probably she only gets one visitor a year. She hears that truck coming down the road. She's like, oh shit, I gotta get into creepy mode. Most of the time she's just sitting around reading Cosmo magazine or whatever was popular at the time. But when she hears the truck coming down the old shitty road, which probably makes a lot of noise, she runs and gets in front of the fireplace and is like, Ed Holly, good to see you.
And she has to like put on her props because there's like random fucking wind that's like, she's in a shack. Okay, maybe it's a little drafty, but not that drafty where her fucking hair is flowing. Well, and then she has a fucking owl. Like the owl was just living in there.
What do you tell us you think she can have for a pet out there in the middle of nowhere? She was going to be
a gator?
She was going to be an owl or a possum. And probably the possum bit too much, so they couldn't have him on the set, so they just had to have the owl.
A raccoon? Like what other...
That's about it. It's going to be out there. She's going to have an owl, a possum, or a raccoon.
This was like the fucking owl from like Labyrinth. It was like a fucking white fucking owl, fancy look. It looked too fancy to be living in that shack.
Well, you know, somebody went to college. But, so, yeah, and by the way, in case if you haven't seen this movie, the phrase Ed Holly gets said about 900 times during the movie. They never just call him Ed. It's never just like, oh, hey, Ed. Hey, Mr. Harley. No, it's Ed Holly. That's your drinking game for this movie right there, is every time somebody says Ed Harley, take a drink. You'll be fucking dead halfway through the movie.
You will be dead. And I have to say that I hadn't seen this movie in a while, and it was très annoying to hear
Ed Harley.
Yes,
me
on
doing Ed Harley all
top of
the
the
time.
freaking movie doing it, you echoing it. Which was funny for like the 2 times, and then after it was like...
It was funny all the times. Don't just admit it. It was funny all the times. But, so of course, now the plot of the movie...
You need more pumpkin bread.
Yeah, I do. If you haven't seen it, is Lance Henriksen lives out in the middle of nowhere with his child. They run the little general store. And one day, like, Lance Henriksen has to go back to get something from the house. So like you do... You leave your, like, 5-year-old child in charge of the store.
Okay, not only that, left him with random city folk. Okay, you know you're not to trust a city folk who's out there dirt biking or whatever the hell they're doing.
That's exactly what they were doing.
Which was the equivalent of like today. They would be like Instagramming. They were taking photos, you know, like in the desert.
In dangerous ways, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're out there. You know, they're out there riding around on dirt bikes. And the kid, of course, you can see...
Who has Coca-Cola bottled glasses. Okay,
yep.
The glasses are like as thick. Mine would be that thick, actually, if I didn't have, like, the...
Yeah, so you know this
thin
kid
out.
can't see well anyhow, and you're going to leave him there with strangers. So immediately you can see where this is going. He runs right out in front of one of the bikes and gets hit and killed. But then again, I kind of think no one really tried to take him to the hospital either.
No, they were
just like, he did.
He got scammed by the bike, by the way. It wasn't even, I guess, obviously, they weren't going to do that to the real kid, but it doesn't even look like this is something a kid would die from. He badly burned, yes.
Yeah, he might have been hurt, but no one even tried to take him to the hospital. They were just like...
He's like, oh, he did.
Yeah, he looks like he's hurt, and he's probably dead. Just take him home, clean him up, then, bury him. That's what we're going to do. Yeah, I feel like they could have at least tried. Maybe the hospital could have saved him.
Okay, then we wouldn't have a movie. So the kid had to die. There was no choice. He had to die. Now, the transformation.
Yes. You get to see Pumpkinhead rise from the grave because, once you go to Miss Haggis, you pay her, like he paid her in his gold coins. Like, where the hell do you get gold coins this day and age? I don't know. But he paid her in those, and she brings forth Pumpkinhead. And who looks a little like Sam.
He looks just like Sam from Trick or Treat, which obviously this movie came out way before. So maybe that was like an homage to Pumpkinhead, because he does look very close to the design of it. I love did Stan Winston also do the effects for this?
I don't think so.
You like hire like someone else to do it, right? You're like too busy directing.
Yeah, I'm sure he probably had a hand in designing it, but I don't think he did all the day-to-day effects himself.
I couldn't even imagine walking on stilts.
Yeah, I think there was a name there. They do a lot of movies together, like Alec Gillis or Woodruff, something like that. They've done a lot of stuff with Sam Winston over the years. They worked on him with Aliens and some other stuff like that. I think they did the effects. This is one of the first things that they opened up and did.
I mean, eat a bone. If it's... Is it still like... It's white chocolate Oreo that I broke up into long slivers for the bones. Bones! I'm eating Pumpkinhead's bones.
Okay, go for it. You're that brave. Give it a shot.
Doesn't taste like pumpkin, but it's crunchy like a bone. If, I ate bones. I don't eat bones.
Okay.
I just want to throw this out there. I do not eat bones, only ones on TV, seen on TV, like these. This one, right here. My favorite part of the film's very fucking sad. Let's just throw that. I cried as a mother. I was crying the whole time. Like, I remember looking over, and like I said, it had been a long time since I'd seen it. I looked over to Shad and I was like, oh no, this is not the one where the kid dies, right? He's not gonna die, and then
he's gonna die.
He died, and I was broken up. And then the whole sequence with Lance, driving his dead son back home and carrying him and fixing his glasses. It's so sad.
And this is the saddest kid in the world too. Like, you see him and you just want to be like, oh, you poor kid.
Oh, honey.
Can we please just take you somewhere where you have access to clean water and
he loved his son, his only son, and it was really sad, but I don't feel bad for any of maybe the guy that stayed with the kid, he gets actually killed first, which is pretty fucked up. Pumpkinhead's like, yo ass. I feel like he should have gone for the guy that actually killed the kid.
Yeah, he was the last to die, I believe.
Yeah, I guess it was waiting, it's more torture.
It's got to make him, it's got to savor the kills a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, the only guy who stayed with him after they were hit, and they, because this is predates cell phones, so no one was able to just whip out a phone and call an ambulance. They had to go looking for a phone somewhere, which, of course, out in this country, you did not find very often.
No.
But, so Pumpkinhead, of course, comes to life and begins murdering them all one by one. Like you said, unfortunately, starting with the one who actually tried to help. The asshole who abandoned him and ran off, he had to leave because he was on probation for, running over someone. So once you're on probation for that, they tend to look at it pretty poorly if you do it again.
I mean, yeah, I guess, but it would have been worse if you did nothing.
Yeah.
Which is what you did.
He could have at least tried.
The judge may have had some kind of remorse. This was obviously an accident. he didn't go out of his way to run the kid over.
Yeah, you could have tried, but they just did not try.
Yeah, and he couldn't veer off. So,
yeah.
And then Lance, feels some kind of way about it. And he's like, oh, I'm going to try to, like, save these kids that I put in this danger in the first place. I'm like, guy, what did you think was going to happen? Like,
he's linked to Pumpkinhead.
I know. At first, when he went, he thought that this was going to be, no pun intended, a pet cemetery, even though... Who makes a cemetery and a pumpkin patch? But okay, he thought it was going to be a pet cemetery situation where he was going to, like, do some hoodoo, and then the kid was going to come back alive. And
nope.
Everything was going to be fine.
She said, I can't raise the dead, Ed Harley, but I can get your revenge, Ed Harley. Yeah, so...
Hair's blowing.
But yeah, he's linked to Pumpkinhead so that he feels whatever, he sees, experiences all the murders for himself.
I would have sat down, okay? You killed my child? You didn't do anything about it? I'm sitting down. I'm fucking going to the microwave. Oh, wait, hold on. There's no microwave at this time.
I don't even think they had electricity at that time.
No, I mean, at this time, meaning they were very, very, very poor. So they did not have these things.
They didn't have electricity. They didn't have microwaves.
Get my Jiffy Pop. Okay, put it over the fucking fire. Watch that shit pop, and then I would just sit there while I watch this. Like, I'm in the future now because I'm virtually watching some shit happen. I'm not even there, but I'm seeing it and I'm feeling it. This is like a 4D experience.
Yeah, they didn't have TV, so that's the best thing they got.
He should have been thrilled. This is like the most amazing horror movie he's ever fucking seen.
But he is
eating my fucking popcorn.
Decent guy at heart, so he felt bad that people that didn't have anything to do with it were getting killed. So he tries to stop Pumpkinhead, and she tells him, Ed Harley, you started this. You got to finish it.
And he finishes it.
He does, because as they figure out they're linked together, so the only way you can kill Pumpkinhead is to kill Ed Harley.
And it's very fucking sad. It's a great movie. Like, to watch, this is like a classic. I would say it's not a Halloween movie, but pumpkins.
Yeah, pumpkin patch. It gets you in the mood for it. It's a very good movie. I love the way the cemetery looks. It's very creepy, and I just want to like have a party there. Maybe some like wooden planks because it's like muddy. Kind of gross, but it looks just like this, actually, just like this cake. Pretty much, yeah. But I love at the end of it, you see that Lance Henriksen has died, and Mrs. Haggis is putting him into the cemetery, into the pumpkin patch cemetery, and he's kind of shriveled up, and you can tell the next person that calls on Pumpkinhead, it's going to be Lance Henriksen's body that rises up out of there to become Pumpkinhead. So that was a cool little twist at the end. Fucking
not cool at all. Sad as fuck.
It was, but still cool.
Yeah, and then they zoom in, fuckers. They pan and zoom in to the one thing that lets you know that it's Lance. I'm not gonna give that away, but that's just like, here's my heart. There you go. You just took it.
I'd say this is a 4-knife movie.
Wow, a 4-knife movie?
Yeah.
I'm going to say, because I had to sit through the movie with you saying
Ed Harley.
And the fact that I cried. I don't want to cry when I watch a horror movie, okay? I want to fucking be like scared or any other emotion besides I'm crying. And it's not like tears of fear, okay? No.
That's tears for fears, not tears of fear. You're close, though.
I mean, I know, but still, it's still the same thing. I give it 3 knives. I was going to say 2.5 knives, but 3 knives.
I was going to throw you out of the house then.
Well, you didn't like Ghoulies too, so...
That's different. Nobody likes Ghoulies.
And then you forget the end. I'm like, oh, gosh, why? I love that film.
I had to make room for better movies.
Wow. Burn. Yeah. Well, it's a Halloween burn. It's a Halloween burn.
You got to have a trick-or-treat on Halloween.
Here you go. Well, thanks for
listening to our special FrightBites episode.
FrightBites, where we survive, maybe. If you don't hear from us, you know what happened. This is the evidence of what happened. Hope you guys have a safe and happy Halloween. And stay tuned to the horror.